Welcome back to JB Reviews. As you guys know, I had a chance to live with a gas HD for a few months. I did some towing videos and I put about 4,000 miles on that truck. And the only reason why I sold it was because, well, this came in a little early. I'm actually headed to Lowe's, Harbor Freight, Ace Hardware, all these places because here, you won't be able to see it from that camera probably. My fifth wheel is giving me a headache for sure. So I have to go fix my cable driven slide. One of my cables popped. 5-year-old RV. When RVs get over 3 years old, run away. Just run away. But I figured I'll just go ahead and drive and discuss my experience with my gas HD. So let's start off with all the positives. Obviously there's more positives than there are negatives, right? Maybe. So as I've said earlier, we don't full-time RV anymore. We used to live in that RV full-time, which is why, you know, you're gonna have probably more issues because of that too. So when we were full-time RVing, I obviously had a diesel. It was a Ram 3500. You guys have seen it. That's kind of why this channel grew to where it was, because of the content I created on that truck. But if you were to ask me today, would I choose a gas HD to tow my fifth wheel full-time RV like I was, I would tell you I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like if I needed a truck, let's just say my truck got totaled and I was traveling and I needed a truck. There's a gas HD that had the options I wanted, and then there was a diesel that didn't have anything I wanted. I would not be opposed to getting that gas HD, 100%. Now, I want you guys to understand something. I had a chance to own a gas pickup. If you're looking at a gas HD, you're gonna have this problem, and it's called online hate. So you're gonna right out of the gate have a lot of people, if you're going into forums, if you're going into the comment section of guys doing towing videos or any type of reviews on gas HDs, you're gonna have that one or two guy who's gonna say something like, oh, I would never buy a gas HD. That's stupid or dumb to do that. Just get a diesel. All they do is look at the horsepower and torque numbers and say, this is why I would get a diesel. They'd never probably ever own a pickup. Some of these guys online probably live at their mom's house, 40 years old, and can't even finance a ham sandwich. I'm learning there's trolls everywhere, but there's definitely trolls online. I had a chance to experience gas and diesel. I've also had experience to, you know, use a dually truck. I've had a lot of experience between the Duramax engines with the gas engines. I've even had some experience with the Ford 7.3s. But I will tell you something. I am very cautious to give my opinion about something that I don't really know. Like, I won't say anything negative from my mouth, you know, and if I do hear something, I'm even leery to even, you know, repeat what other people say, because sometimes I'm learning that most people don't even have the experience. And that's the scary part. Like, I have more questions coming to me than I ever have. I don't even answer questions anymore because there's just too much. And I apologize, guys. I just can't keep up with it. It's just too much. And the online hate is why I will never buy another gas HD. But not just the online hate. That online hate waterfalls into a lot of other different things. So you guys see, I don't keep cars long. I normally, right now, am just doing a lot of testing because I want to learn more about what I do as a YouTuber. I do towing videos, I do truck reviews. I want to learn, I want to feel, and that's kind of what I've been doing these last 8 months since I've been buying all these trucks. And because I'm a business owner now, I'm learning that I can write these trucks off. So there you go. That's another reason why I've been doing it. But when I went to Jerry Seiner to pick up this truck on a Friday, I did not buy it. Actually, I never told you guys this. I actually decided to walk away from the deal. I got my trade appraisal, and I was shocked. The biggest issue you're gonna have with these trucks is there's just not a lot of examples. And because of that, it's not because that they're rare and popular. It's because they're rare because people don't buy them. For me, I don't want to lose money on my trucks. You know, I know in the past, if you were to buy something and trade it in within 5 or 6 months, you lost $10,000. I didn't lose $10,000, but I can assure you, it was still less than what I was expecting it to be. So they called me Friday evening and asked me, you know, what they could do. They wanted me to buy the truck. You know, I have a good relationship with Jerry Steiner. I'll never say anything negative about those guys. But I called one of my friends over the weekend from Maryland. I said, hey, I gave him my VIN number. I said, what would you give me for this truck? And the first thing out of his mouth was, dude, this is a gas truck. I wouldn't even want this thing personally. So if I were to give you a number, I'd probably give you one you probably wouldn't want because I wouldn't want your truck. And I laughed because I was like, holy crap. That is ignorant too. And no disrespect, I love you, bro. But I asked him, why do you think that? And he said this. He says, dude, I outsell gas HDs 7-to-1 probably. He says, it's for every 7 diesels I sell, he says, I probably sell 1 gas pickup. And he's talking about HDs. He says, it's probably worse than that. He said, it could be 10-to-1. He just says, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I get a work truck or something like that, maybe I'll sell a gas pickup. But he says, I don't even order them. He says, the only way I'd order one is if a customer orders it, or he says, if that's the only allocations available to pick up, and I just have to. But he says the other part of it was your trim level's too high. He says, I can't imagine someone wanting to buy a high country with a gas engine. So he told me, he says, the number that they gave you, he says, I would take it and run with it. He says, it's just, you know, he just said, count your loss. You know, it is what it is. He said, you got the content that you wanted, you learned something, so just move on. And so I was able to get a discount on my AT4X, as you guys know. They work with me. Like I said, Jerry Steiner hooked me up. Now again, I'm not saying you can go there and get a deal on an AT4X. All right, so it's the next day, and I did not finish this video. I did finish my RV though, and so that's all taken care of. If you are looking at RVs, guys, and they have cable-driven slides, I should never say this, but run away. I'm sorry, guys. I got lucky, and it was hard. Like, I was able to fix that slide, and I got a little bit of footage. So if you would like to see it, I will probably post it sometime soon. But yeah, I would run away from an RV in the future that has cable-driven slides because it's too complicated, too complex. And even though I only had 1 cable break in a year, that 1 cable was enough to tell me not worth it. So back to the video. As I was saying before I got interrupted, I get discounts with Jerry Steiner because of the videos I do. I've said this before in the past, and I feel as though with the amount of people who have come in off my videos, they do help me. So luckily, I was able to get a good trade-in value for my gas truck. Luckily, they did discount the AT4X, and so it was, you know, fine for me to, you know, buy the truck. But what my friend said, I feel as though it's wrong, and I think that dealers need to change their perspective. The problem I have with salespeople in general are they don't buy these trucks and tow with them. So to give perspective of, you know, no one wants a gas HD, well, that to me sounds like my friend said, you're just biased about this truck because you think, oh, everyone's buying diesel, so I'm just assuming no one wants a gas truck. I think the reason why people buy diesel is because that's what people do. I mean, we're all like sheep in a sense. So I mean, hey, if you hear that diesel's better than gas, well, you're probably gonna buy the diesel. Or because the diesel's more expensive, you're probably gonna buy the diesel because it's more expensive. So you're like, hey, the reason why this truck is better because it's more expensive. But if you were to ask people why they buy diesel, I mean, most guys, I'm serious when I say this, don't even tow, and they just buy these trucks because that's just what their dad did, and their dad probably didn't tow. So my thing is, for dealers, I would 100% change your perspective. Because trucks are so expensive now. And if you're trying to continue to sell them,
you may have to start ordering more gas HDs for stock to help guys who may want more truck but can't afford it with the diesel. And so having that gas engine might be a good perspective because they can afford more truck. So I think that with what I've done with my testing with the towing videos, you guys saw them. Gas truck's not going to get you up to speed a lot faster than a diesel, but it will get you up to speed just like the diesel. And going up a 6% grade for 5 miles, you guys saw the footage, like the truck did it. And I wasn't getting passed by every car on the highway. I was maintaining the same speed. I had to get over a few times to pass some trucks. So gas HDs are probably what's gonna really save the market right now because of how expensive pickups are. And you see it now. I mean, you're starting to see Ford trucks sitting. You're starting to see GMC trucks, are coming in, and people are backing out of the deal. And I'm pretty sure it's because of interest rates, and it's probably because of how expensive the trucks are. Ram trucks. I mean, there's a Ram truck right now. I saw it was like 15 grand off. They're hurting. So I would definitely, as a dealer, I would change my perspective. I would not look at a gas HD trade-in as a burden. I would look at it as an opportunity because, in my opinion, my high country, even though I wouldn't recommend buying a high trim level, I feel like my high country sold that truck even more so because you get to buy what would have been a $92,000, $93,000 truck for about 80 grand. So I hope this was helpful. I don't want to ramble. I think that if you go back and watch my footage, you'll see that the gas HD get the job done. I even did a video with Mikey P comparing his diesel to my gas truck. And what was the difference? I don't remember, but go back and watch my videos, man. I'm serious. Like gas versus diesel. I typically, will name them that. And from my perspective, I've been able to show a couple times that diesel is not that much better. Especially when you have to start out of the gate at $10,000, especially when you have to worry about fuel filters. And, even the diesel cost is always going to be more going into the winter season because they have to change the blend from diesel number 1 to diesel, or diesel number 2 to diesel number 1 in some cases, depending on where you live at in the country. So there's just a lot of things that you have to worry about. Even the quality of diesel is not as good here in America. The quality of gasoline is better. So if you do look at that perspective, I mean, you can use ethanol-free fuel. You get that out here in some parts of the country. The oil changes are, granted, you do have to go a little bit sooner versus diesel, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like gas trucks have a lot more benefits that really help more people because, again, not a lot of people are towing. My takeaway is this. Yeah, for me, I would probably never buy another gas HD because I am a diesel fanboy, but at the same time, I just feel as though I'm okay to spend the extra premium because I do tow sometimes cross country, and I probably will do it again. I mean, we are probably always going to RV, so for me, I like going up to the diesel truck stop and getting diesel and not have to worry about going around to the car side. But that's just for me. But there's a lot of guys that do it all the time with a gas HD, and they have no problems. So it's all in what you're willing to put up with. And my thing is, I think that people should change their perspective on gas HDs. I'm not trying to be an advocate for one or the other. I'm just saying, have an open mind to what you might actually like over the other.